Hey everyone, this is a trader investor again. In this video, I want to show you why it's okay to have 2 consecutive days of no trigger on the SPY. Because we want to enter trades for swing, even for day trades, but on a period that we are able to monitor the charts, not glued to the charts. Monitor the charts, but not glued to the charts. That's the strategy I want to use. So the smallest time frame that I use is the 15 minutes. And even that, I'm not looking at it all day for 15 minutes. I'm just going to glance at it. I'm going to have it to the side. I'm going to glance at it every 15 minutes to see what price is doing. So yesterday, I went through and explained why when we started to make double tops, I decided not to enter on the long side. And because we were in a very strong bullish trend and no weakness to the downside, I was not playing any puts either. Of course, hindsight, I could see, oh, there were more than $1 moves down both days. I could have entered, but that's not how I trade. That's not how I play. I need to see signals. I need to see triggers for me to enter. And I had no trigger on either side. I had potential triggers on the long side when we were above the opening range for the first 15 minutes of yesterday. Similarly today, the close of yesterday kept pushing prices up higher, but we still did not push high enough to break the highs of yesterday. So when I'm looking at that, I'm more cautious, and what I'm seeing is just a sideways movement. We can go to the daily chart and we see that same thing. On the daily chart, we see very sideways action, right? We're in a very small consolidation. We could potentially be making some sort of a flag here and some sort of a flag here. And so what I want to see a break above this flag, retest that flag area, and resume higher for the 410 to 415 zone. This is what I want to see. But for now, I'm seeing just no trade zone. I'm seeing just some consolidation. Whether you look at the 5-minute chart, you look at the 15 minutes chart. I just brought up the 5 minutes just to show you, but I don't trade off the 5 minutes chart. But if you look at that, that's what price has been doing, is consolidating. And these lines that you see, these are the yellow lines are the close of yesterday, the red one is the low of yesterday, and the green one is the high of yesterday. And we were contained within the high and low of yesterday. We are contained within that. So for me, that's a very range bound action. I'm not scalping. I'm not day trading, every minute of the bars, every minute of the day. That's not what I'm doing. So because I'm not scalping, I'm looking for setups that will give me some good risk reward ratio. And this range bound just says, hey, just be patient, let the trade come to me. This is about being patient, and that patience will eventually pay off. And when you're looking at a longer time frame, like 30 minutes, you can see clearly that range bound. You can see clearly we're contained within yesterday's high and low. And down here, this other line that you see is last week's high and low. We're for sure way up above last week's high and low. A beautiful entry would be to use last week's high as an area of value, see a break of structure in this area. Break of structure meaning we come down, make a high, make a higher low, and price resumes. Something like this, something like a W, but where I want this line to be respected for that W. Or we have a clear W, and when we are breaking above these lines, we can enter as well. So that tells me that pullback is terminated, and this is just going to be a beautiful entry because it's an entry at a very good area of value. Outside of that, I'm going to stick to my 15-minute chart for those opening range plays where I want to see price outside of the boundaries, retest those boundaries, and go on either side. And another thing I want to point out over the last couple of days, notice where price ended today. Price ended right smack at the lows of yesterday, the lows of the boundary, not the complete low, but very close to the low of yesterday. The low of yesterday was also made here. So price was contained between the lower boundary of the 15-minute range of yesterday and the lower boundary of the whole day range. So price was contained there. It came right down there, it bounced off and resumed higher to continue to play in that range. So I want to see that flag that I showed you on the daily, that flag forming. It could be in a pennant like this where I have a triangle and I am exiting this triangle on a strong volume supported movement, and I stay above those highs. So this is what I'm looking for, and it is absolutely fine for us to have 0 trades on the SPY 2 days in a row. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's all about being patient, because I am not a scalper, and if you're following me, you know that I'm not a scalper, and that's not what I'm recommending, because this is good for people with a regular 9-to-5 day job where you're monitoring the charts on the side, you're doing your day job, you're monitoring the charts once a day, once an hour, once every half hour. That's all I want to do. Outside of that, I don't want to be glued to the charts trying to scalp. Scalping is just not my style. I don't have the patience or the time for it. And on the 30-minute chart, you can see price very clearly in that range. There's no area of value for us to play from. There's no Fib retracement. That is a clear Fibonacci retracement for us to play from. So I would like to see price come down to the 23.6% retracement for us to continue the price higher. And by higher, I mean go to the 410.60s, 410.70 area as target 1 if price gives us a little bit of an entry position. Normally, I would have said this is okay if price breaks this high. If price breaks this high, just enter long, because we are above the 26.3, the 23.6% retracement. However, because price is dancing in a range, I just want to see a little bit more of a deeper pullback to resume its trend. That's what I want to see. So I just wanted to give you a recap and mention, do not feel bad that you took no trade on the SPY if you're not scalping. For those who are scalping, I'm sure you've seen some good opportunities, but I'm not looking at those. I'm only focusing on entries where there's momentum that is going to push the price beyond just scalping. I want to capture some good moves, and sometimes that's within the same day, sometimes it's swinging. So my positions are set up for that opportunity, and as a result, there was no entry today, and it is okay. It is okay to have zero trades when the setup is not there. It is absolutely not an issue if the setup is not giving you an entry. So we do not force entries. We actually stay away from forced entries. We want trades to come to us. So hopefully this has helped you, and we will come back and take a look at the charts again tomorrow and see what the SPY does in relation to our area of value, in relation to our structure. That's just the main point of all this trading, is looking at structure and area of value. Take care, everyone.